Hey, welcome back to episode number 3 in the Ultimate Toolbox series here on Solo Quest Party 1. I'm Lou. Hopefully, you've had a chance to watch the other 2 videos. If you haven't, go back and watch those because this is going to continue and build off of those particular episodes. So, in this episode, what we're going to talk a little bit about is we're going to be talking about making settlements better. So, we have our city of Deerfield, and we're going to build that out today. So, what we know already is the region and state is a winter principality, authoritarian, human, merchant-minded, large families. We got a plague that's imminent in the town. There's a fear of some type of comet blasting there, or maybe the comet came through already. We don't know exactly. Let's see. We have our street level reality type thing going on. Farmer's Path, Deerfield is our town. Laid Brick Road, local guards with war clubs. Our spiritual pressure is most of the world is filled with worshiping dark gods. We got cult worshippers, we got plague rituals, we got the ascending ones, cult all over the place. The government, authoritarian, fascism is running wild. We have a prince who overthrew a viceroy. Our character is just a little piece of this pie, a former watchman in this city. So what are we going to do today? So what we're going to do today is we're going to start along with making this settlement. We're going to build it out and just see how it kind of falls together. And it's actually a fun exercise to do. Some people don't want to bother doing these things, but I think it's worthwhile doing it, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to go to page 81, and this starts chapter 3, Civilization. This is a lot of things you can roll in here, and you could start with the city name, but we already have our city name done. So what we're looking for here is first impressions. What does the city look like when we first go into it? Your character's going to want to know when he enters a town, or when you're role playing, or when your group is role playing. What does it look like? So we're going to roll on our d20 just to get that done to see what it looks like. 14. Quiet and sleepy in general. So the town itself of Deerfield, the city of Deerfield, is a quiet town. Maybe there's not a lot of activity going on in this town at all, and we have to figure out why. That could be something that we can figure out in the future. I don't know. But then next we're going to go to who is the rulership exactly in this? Who is the ruling class in this city? Now we know there's a prince that overrules the entire kingdom, that rules with an iron fist, but we want to know in this town who the authority is as far as in charge. Who is, the lords and the ladies of the town. So for this one, we're actually going to go where it says this is the government chapter, and we're going to be going to rulers, and we kind of generally we want to get an idea of what they are. You don't have to use these names, but it gives you an idea. So let's give us an idea of who's there. 12. Mayor Solomon Softwild enforces very strict penalties for even minor crimes, and that actually does work when it comes to what we're looking at here with our fascist regime, authoritarian regime. We have a mayor that runs this town with an iron fist. Anytime something is broken, you are getting a strict penalty for that, and there's nothing you can do about it. So now that we got that, let's scroll up a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about what this city is on page 94. Like local, there we go. The noble power source or interests in this town, the noble dwellings, what they live in. So what is the mayor interested in when it comes to his town? So let's try table 323 here, and we're going to roll on there. And we get number 3, brewing. Interesting. So we have a town and a merchant-minded state here that likes brewing. What are they brewing? Good question. Now, what type of dwelling does the mayor live in, or the upper class of this society live into? We're going to roll on 324. 14. Mansion. So we got the mayor here who lives in Gracie Mansion, for example, in like New York or something like that. You know, he's got a big mansion and he's having his good old time and everything. And he's an ass because he's enforcing strict policies on people. What now? Another thing that you're going to want to figure out here in this whole entire thing is, what does the city kind of look like as far as architecture and atmosphere? So actually, just architecture. We got an atmosphere. We got a quiet and sleepy in general. But what do the buildings look like in this town? What does it strike you when you first look at it and walk into this town? That's important. I know it's important for me when I want to know, what does this town look like? And then we're going to go to page 102 and building descriptions. And then we can go to architecture as well, but we could probably do both of these. We'll do both. Roll d20. Let's see what we get. 4. Large family homes with extended yards and a family graveyard. So this city has, like, it looks like a suburban area, so to speak. It's got large, lush family homes, extended yards. Maybe the families have like little burial plots in the back for when the past generations. This is generational housing. People have lived here for years and decades, and now they have not moved on. They're just there. What is the architecture? What does this look like? These houses, what do they look like when you walk into there? 4. They're colorful and have hardy stonework. So we got these big, large family homes with extended yards, and they have their family gravesite. The houses are decorated and they're colorful, and the stonework on the houses are intricate, and you could tell this is a money area. There is no one lacking for funds here in this area. So this is Deerfield. This is the town your character, or this character here, we have our watchman, is basically what he was protecting. Now he's going out on his own. But what does the town look like? Because this will probably be a hub town for him. All right, so now let's figure out the next thing to figure out. Once we've figured out what the town looks like, now we want to figure out the civics of this town. They're interested in brewing. So what would their commerce be like? What would be the economic commerce of this town? That's a good question. Let's find out. We're going to go to page 110 or 111 in this book. What is the primary thing that they're doing here in town? Now, it's brewing, so this is kind of an interesting one, because if they're like brewing, not a lot of these things are going to fit. Do we have one that's a specialty for brewing? Game, fowl, fish, basic foods, exotic foods, garden fruits, pickled. They like pickling foods. Clothing, healer goods, furs. Medicinal herbs might work. Coin names, that's also another one we can probably do. Common crafts, professions, magic items. No. All right, well, what we could do is probably do the medicinal herbs one. Herbs, I said herbs, wow. So we're going to roll on that chart to see what they like brewing. 3. Balm. They're interested in balm as a skin purifier or a sedative. You know, that actually might work. They're interested in making some balm and as maybe a sedative to control people, or maybe they use it as part of their punishment in the town. I don't know. What is I like the idea of finding out what the coin name is. I always enjoy what coins are in a town. And just the usual gold, silver, bronze. Sometimes it's boring. So let's figure it out. Let's roll 2d20 and we'll pick the best one out of the 2. So I'll just do this here and I'll hit roll to hit them both. 3 and 16. So we got a circlet and a sun. The coins will be a circlet sun. Maybe they're just going to be called sun coins. That's what they call the currency, sun coins. Interesting how some of these things pop up. Now, we already know what the next step is going to be here. Well, maybe you don't. I do. The religion. We need to kind of flesh that out just a little bit more. And we're going to go to page 126 for this. So this is going to give you what the churches are like inside this town. We're rolling a d20 for this again. And obviously we want to figure out what church is in this town. Is it part of the good, the one good God we have? Or is it part of the evil ones, too? Let's see. Building is actually an ancient mansion left to the church, only recently secured by church funds. Inside are sprawling rooms dedicated to different aspects of the deity. The walls have been left intact, so while there is no one common hall of worship, many smaller ceremonies are... Okay, so this is kind of a neutral. Maybe a neutral church? Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Well, I guess that should not have happened. So the walls have been left intact. It's been a former mansion. And we have very small ceremonies going on in here. Now, this really, honestly, doesn't make a lot of sense for our setup. So I'm going to roll again. See what else we get. A 5. Church consists of entire connected towers, the main hall divided by a screen depicting saints and scenes from the religion's history. Gray slate and white beams are used to help support the towers on their multiple levels. There are no chairs or pews during ceremonies. All worshippers are expected to stand. Small towers towards the edge of the property house the church's popular meditation pools. That one doesn't really fit much either. Let's see what else we got going on here. Why am I on all these null numbers? Church of Magic is built onto the side of an ancient, now dormant volcano, shaped through this. No, that doesn't make sense at all. So we're just going to stick with what we had already right here. It doesn't want to do what I want to do today. Okay. Don't merge. There. So we have to figure out what exactly is the... Oh my lord. Hold on one second. Let me fix this. All right, now that's fixed. Got it. The magic of editing. But anyway, so we have to figure out what deity is in this town or city, and if it's more than one, maybe. So I'm going to... What is the dominant deity? We have 4 of them, obviously. We're going to scroll back up on here on this document, and we're going to take a look at the 4 deities. Now we have our good god, and we have 3 evil gods. So I'm just going to roll a d4. See what we get. A 4. The bugbear of gods and lights and god of the world. Lies and night. You know what? That works. So when he's in this town, the worshippers all worship Mole. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mole. The bugbear, god of lies and night, god of the world. So that's our deity of this town. So when he walks in, he sees all these different, like, bugbear god symbols all over the place. So what we can do next is flip the page and get an idea of what they call the clerics of the world or the priests of the world. That'd be the next thing, because that's important, because cleric, priest, abbot, deacon, father, those things are kind of boring. We want something a little bit different, and I'm going to get something the same, but we're going to go on page 125 here. 20. Wise woman. So they call their priests Wise woman. Or they have one priest called the wise woman. Interesting. So the evil church that worships Maul, the bugbear god, their authority is the wise woman. Interesting. Now, what are the worshippers? Now that we got an idea, what are the worshippers like of this town? Let's check that out under worshippers. What do they do? They seek advice on the past. Why would you seek advice on the past? Interesting. Seek advice on the past. So the worshippers of this church of the bugbear god come to the wise woman for whatever weekly, daily ceremonies, seeking advice how to proceed from the past into the future, how to move past what's going on. We got a plague going on. They're coming to the wise woman to try to figure out what's going on and why, and maybe she could figure out a way to fix this for them. And we also want to find out a holiday name because I don't know. I like having holidays in my games. I thought it'd be interesting to do that for as well. It's always like some type of flavor. All Spirits Day. There we go. All Spirits Day is going to be a... What type of celebration? Should we... let's roll 2d20 and pick the best one out of the two. 8. Celebrate the constellation and the stars. That's boring. Respect for a hero or a group of heroes. No. Let's roll that again. And you can do this. Just pick whatever. Celebrate a rise of a ruler. Ooh. Ward off bad luck and encourage good. Now, maybe All Spirits Day celebrates the rise of the prince that overthrew the viceroy. And the wise woman celebrates and praises this prince who is, I don't know, putting an iron fist over the entire world. And she loves it. Last thing for this area, for fleshing it out a little bit more, is going to be kind of like the taverns and inns area, because that's kind of important when it comes to the game. When you're playing, you're going to want to know what these things are. So on page 136, taverns and inns, we're going to get our tavern and inn here. Let's see, 7. So we're going to roll, and this is a city, so it's going to have more than one. You know what? Let's do a d6. Evens, it's going to have only 1. Odd, it's going to have 2. 2. Okay. So we get our d20s, 2020, and we get our 12. Cheaters. The owner loves retelling the tale of a green slime which robbed him of his arms. Okay. 1 tavern, cheaters. The next tavern is called the Dancing Bear. Okay, this place boasts a caged, dire bear which seems well treated if cramped. So we got our 2 taverns or inns called Cheaters and Dancing Bear, and they have their own little flavor to the system there. And we can continue going on these charts if you don't like them, because there's so many of them. Now, the tavern interior of these, we can do that as well. Let's do a 20 roll here. Take the first one, 8. And this gives us a little flavor. Horseshoe-shaped bar with 10 stools and a lowered interior, 4 booths, and 4 long tables. So that gives you an idea what the bar looks like. And this is the other one. Oops. And the Dancing Bear. Come on, bear. Of course it does that. I don't know why it does that. It's an oak bars curved around one corner, 8 stools. There is also 2 round tables, 2 long tables, and a stage at the center of the far wall with an ancient tapestry behind it. This kind of works for the dancing bear because of the caged dire bear. And maybe the bear goes on the stage and is forced to perform or something weird like that. So what do we have so far? So what is Deerfield like? Well, we could take all this and figure out a way to make it, kind of work for your game. So let's think about this. This is the part I like to sit down and kind of think about. So Deerfield comes off like kind of a place that looks calm until you stay there long enough to notice what is really off about it. On the surface, it's obviously quiet and sleepy, the sort of town people pass through and kind of underestimate, right? Under that is a tight, controlled, and probably a little tense town. The mayor keeps a hard grip on the place and punishes even small crimes harshly. So the calm is not really comfortable, it's more like pressure. Brewing matters here, which fits a settlement on the road like Farmer's Path. And the presence of a mansion tells you power is close by and visible at all times. The town is very old, obviously, because of the large families, extended yards, and the graveyards. Obviously, there's generational homes, large family homes, yeah. It tells you that families stay put, hold the land, and remember their past. So the hardy stonework and colorful stonework make it feel like durable. They're proud. Everything's built to last in this town. The bomb thing, I'm trying to figure that out. It's a local good that they sell in the town. And it kind of ties right into the whole thing I was saying. They use it for fear. Maybe they use it for healing, sleep, and trade. Deerfield is not just another farm stop. It is a place people might come for relief, medicine, and comfort. Oh, I like that. Yeah. The coin names are the sun coins. Gives a place a little bit of an identity. Why not, right? The religion is kind of where things get a little bit weird. Because the church has connected towers. It has a meditation pool, as we could see. People stand when they worship. It's ritual heavy. And it's tied to Maul, the bugbear god of lies and night, with a wise woman who's in charge. And worshippers seeking advice on the past from her. This kind of gives it a weird mix of control and unease. It sounds like the town wants guidance, fears what is coming, and keeps looking backwards into the past for answers. Then we got our taverns. And those are just some odd things here. Cheaters sounds like a place for bitter stories, doesn't it? And like hard locals that just sit there and drink all night. Dancing Bear sounds more lively, but in like a rough, memorable way. So overall, Deerfield is turning into like this quiet road town with old families, harsh law, healing trade, strange religions going on, and just enough personality to give you a starting point for your solo character. Tell me what you think. You saw what I rolled. You saw what we came up with. I want to know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on the video. Go to solodnd.com. That's my website. You can buymeacoffee.com at, I forget the links are in the, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night. God bless.